Ndindi Nyoro amesema kuwa hatua ya serikali kuuza hisa zake za kampuni ya Safaricom ya kibinafsi kwani serikali itapata hasara kubwa. Nyoro anasema kuwa Wakenya watapoteza pesa nyingi sana kwenye uuzaji huo kwani hisa moja itauzwa kwa shilingi 35 ilhali kwa sasa bei ya hisa ni shilingi 45. Tusikize alichosema.
If you collect dividends for the next 5 years, so in the mind of government there will be no Kenya in the next 5 years or what? When you take fuel levy to be collected in Kenya for the next 7 years to build roads, are you telling us there will be no roads in Kenya to be built? As I come to the conclusion, I have indicated that Kenya is borrowing 1.25 trillion shillings every year. But even the development that we are seeing, including the expansion of Nairobi-Nakuru highway, we now have had to force NSSF to invest workers' resources in that road, while the government knows for sure it will never break even. Now that we are selling a stake in Safaricom, why can't the government provide that road for free to all the people in the western side of this country? Must we package it as a commercial project? Now that we have another source of the sale of Safaricom stake, why can't the government invest some of this money into a road, and especially Nairobi Mau Summit Road? Why? That a Kenyan in the western part of this country, from Nakuru all the way, who pays pay, who pays VAT, who pays fuel levy, again is made by government to build their own road. Because paying toll is basically government abdicating its job to provide public goods and telling Kenyans, tumewaletea hawa watu mujisort mujenge nao barabara. That's basically what the government has done in that road. And we are going to keep on talking about this issue, that the people from Nakuru all the way deserve, like any other Kenyan, to use that road for free without tolling. Because we are borrowing every day, we are borrowing both in the book and off the book, we are now selling government stakes, then why again make Kenyans to pay for the road? I have also heard the drums of every day, they are beaten about the expansion of the road from Pagani, Muthaiga, Kiambu, Duberi. And it has now come up again. I want to request you, my brothers and sisters, go to your own files in terms of the media files, previous ones. And you'll see that you covered the issue of the expansion of that road in 2021 and 2022. If you go to the files, even Google now, you realize that the expansion of Pagani, Muthaiga, Kiambu, Duberi Road was conceptualized and completed in 2022. But the government had to wait until we are near elections to beat the drums. The government should actually be apologizing to the people of Kiambu for delaying the road for 3 years. Because that road was ready to be built in the last 3 years. But of course, the convenience of our politics had to have it delayed. Very lastly, now that we are selling stakes, and I want to tell you for sure, Safaricom PLC, the government is now selling 15%. You can be sure before elections, they will have sold the other stake, some of it. And I cannot actually tell you, some of it they will actually sell to NSSF. Because you don't need to have been inside government for you to learn how the government is thinking. The government is lazy to grow the economy. Because when you grow the economy, it is when you get revenues to support the growth of infrastructure. And since there is no growth in the economy, so we are now looking for shortcuts. And I can tell you for sure, this is just the beginning. They'll divest even from the other stake. Because no one wants to bother. Hakuna mtu anataka kuchoka kufikiria akifanya maamuzi. Unaona Safaricom iko pesa uza. You now hear about selling a stake in KCB, where the government has around 19%. Very soon you'll also hear the same in the energy sector. And that's not even the problem. The problem is that we are selling these assets for a song. And I want to repeat because I am finishing. There is no way the government can purport to sell Safaricom at a valuation of less than 2.5 trillion. There is no way, other than if there is self-interest or incompetence on the side of government. And I have enumerated again, the best way was for the government, first of all, to foster divestiture within Safaricom, create 3 entities, value them separately, and then sell them separately if you have to sell. Very last, we are now on a drive. We are being taken on a rough drive of political messaging. These great terms you are hearing, infrastructure fund and big money being mentioned. It is to make Kenyans not ask the basic questions. Before we are told about trillions and the rest, can the government first of all do the basics? We are now in December. The government, unless they recede, they have already purported to want to increase school fees for day scholars from January. So on one side we are thinking about trillions, on the other side you are abdicating from supporting free basic education. Our JSS brothers and sisters, they require very little money to be confirmed into permanent and pensionable terms. They already had a contract for 1 year to intern in the JSS institutions. But instead of addressing such a small issue, now we are doing political messaging by mentioning billions in infrastructure fund, so that Kenyans don't ask us real questions about real issues. It's like when you can go to your home today, Stephen Leto, and you call a baraza of your home, or Mwaneki, or Business Daily. You call a baraza at your home, and you tell your kin or your family members that you want to go to the moon, and you are going together with them. So they actually forget to ask you about food for that day, because you've already sold a grandiose idea. Unfortunately, within a day or two, they start telling you, okay, we are still going, but where is food? So the basics for this country, one of the basics is basic education. Before we talk about all those other things, the government must give assurance through writing that day scholars in Kenya from January will get an opportunity to go to school without the handicap of finances, as it has been before. As I close, let me take you the last sentence on something else, because this grandiose communication of politics can make Kenyans get lost. Now, we are building highways to toll without any alternative. It has never happened in Kenya since independence. Because even where there is a toll road, there are alternatives. It is the first time in Kenya we are doing an experiment to have Kenyans pay for using a road and deny them an opportunity for an alternative. That's one. It is also the first time in Kenya we are doing off-the-book borrowing through Talanta Board and the rest. It is also the first time we are securitizing revenues to be collected by the country for the next many years. But we are sold a grandiose idea. This is the fact. Kenya has always built stadiums. We have Nyayo Stadium, we have Kasarani. We never took an illegal board, but Kenya built when the economy was quite small. Kenya has always had tarmac roads. Even where we are building the toll road from Nairobi to Nakuru, there is a road. Not that there is no road, there is. And it was built by Kenyans through taxes. And the government never had to take an illegal loan called securitization. You can live here in Nairobi, go to Isiolo, go to Marsabit, and go to Moyale border. There is a tarmac road there, smooth one, a highway. You don't pay to use. It was built by
Nang talaga